Hello, welcome back to Whisky Wednesday. I'm Joe. Another Wednesday, another whisky review. So this week, I'm reviewing my first ever Canadian whisky. Just so happens that it's the most well-known and the highest selling Canadian whisky. It is of course Crown Royal, and it also fits in with the whiskies I've been reviewing over the last couple of weeks. So budget, blended whiskies. Pour myself a little measure of that. As you can see, very, very distinctive bottle. Comes in this rather fetching kind of purple bag, so you show you there. The bottle itself, you know, that you can't really get away from how distinctive that is. Anyway, Canadian whisky, bit of a bizarre style. They basically can make anything as long as it has the attributes of Canadian whisky. So they can actually use quite a lot of neutral grain spirit, so up to kind of 90% in, you know, whatever whisky it is, as long as it tastes like Canadian whisky. Now, a lot of Canadian whisky contains rye whisky, which is kind of spicier. This contains mostly corn that's matured in new oak barrels that's been matured for 3 years. It's then blended with aged rye whisky. It's bottled at 40%, as you'd expect for a cheap blended whisky. And let's give it a nose. Crown Royal. There we go. Now on the nose, it smells like a bourbon. So if you were to kind of smell this for the first time, having never smelt Canadian whisky before, it's got that new oak smell. It's that kind of corn and new oak smell that you associate with bourbon. So I get sweet vanilla. I also get more of a kind of confected note, so kind of refresher sweets. You know, those little refresher sweets are quite fizzy. It is very confected. Cherry drops. Getting maple syrup, like you do on a lot of bourbons. Sweet oak and cocktail syrup. It's just, it's a lot like a bourbon, to be completely honest. Yeah, let's give it a taste. Now, on the palate, it's very sweet, very smooth. So I know it's an overused word, but it is very smooth. I get a kind of a cherry note, so kind of cherry drops. Let's have another taste. There's not much body to it, so it's not exactly heavy, but when you're only paying £25 for it, you know, you're not expecting kind of a huge whisky. So, you know, it's not much body, there's lots and lots of vanilla, a bit of butterscotch. And the finish, let's have a little try. On the finish, there's a little bit of that rye spice that comes through, so you're beginning to taste that kind of spicy, peppery rye. It then fades very, very quickly. It's an okay whisky. It's a 6 out of 10. I'll be completely honest. You know, it's fine. It tastes okay. There's just not a lot to it. But it's not horrible. It's definitely not a horrible whisky. It's very easy to drink. I'm only giving it a 6 out of 10 because for me there's not an awful lot to it. You know, you could get a bourbon for the same price. That would be a lot more exciting. Anyway, it's, you know, worth a go. It's only about £25. You can find it in, it's kind of hard to find in the UK. So you'd have to go kind of specialist shops. Often little local off-licence might have it. That's where I picked up this bottle for. They did it for me for £25. So yeah, 6 out of 10. Not tremendously exciting, but pleasant enough. Little Crown Royal Canadian whiskey. They do a couple of others in the range, so I'll be interested in trying those. So yeah, as always, please share the video, and I will see you next week, guys. Cheers.